You might already know, or perhaps you're just beginning to realize, that life has a rhythm, doesn't it? A flow, a dance, where each step leads to the next, even when you're not sure where it's going. It's like stepping into the unknown, isn't it? And you may wonder as you step, what lies just beyond the edge of certainty? You see, every journey into the unknown has its guardian, little gatekeeper of fear. Fear whispers, what if you can't hold all that comes your way? But isn't it fascinating? The body, the same body that breathes for you, moves for you, and heals without you even asking. It knows how to hold more than you can ever imagine. The body knows it always has. Isn't it curious how the mind sometimes becomes like a rider, tugging at the reins, trying to control the horse? But the horse, it knows the wisdom of the field, doesn't it? It knows the rhythm of the earth, the pulse of the ground beneath its hooves. When the rider lets go, something magical happens. The body moves effortlessly, naturally, gracefully. Now there's a balance in all things, a yin to every yang, a shadow to every light. We only know joy because we meet its opposite. Isn't that true? Like the way you can feel the warmth of the sun after a cold winter's night. And yet it's not the opposite that holds the secret. It's the dance between them. Do they complement, complete, and transform one another? Think about that for a moment. Transformation. It's never just about facing demons, is it? It's about realizing they carry the treasure you've been seeking all along. The fear. It's just a messenger. The anxiety, a guide pointing towards the present. And depression. Perhaps it's a signal, inviting you to let go of the past and step fully into the now. Because here's the truth, the present. It's the only place where peace resides. Right here, right now. As you breathe, you might begin to notice. Peace, it isn't something you have to create. It's already here, just waiting for you to notice it. And goals. How human is it to dream, to plan, to reach? But every goal casts a shadow, doesn't it? An expectation. When those expectations aren't met, it's easy to feel disappointed. What if you could step back just for a moment and see the beauty in both the reaching and the falling short? To bring awareness to it all, to light and shadow, and simply ask, what does this moment need from me? Because when you do that, you discover freedom, don't you? Freedom to learn, to grow, to explore. How you choose. And you begin to see everything, every emotion, every experience has its complementary piece, like a puzzle just waiting to be put together. And isn't it interesting how sometimes, when you let go of what you think you know, your body steps in with a wisdom of its own. You felt it before, haven't you? That moment when you moved a certain way, and suddenly your thoughts shifted. A realization dawned. It's almost as if we're all in a trance, moving towards life, in a state of consciousness we barely understand. But here's the thing. There's no normal, is there? What you call a trance might be someone else's waking state. And when you stop trying to control it, when you simply allow, something shifts. That little conscious mind of yours, the one that loves control, begins to soften. It becomes curious instead of controlling. And in that curiosity, a wholeness emerges. You see, we're always in and out of trances. It's just how life is. And for some, the trance of balance, the dance of complementaries, becomes their normal. Like the Balinese people that Milton Erickson wrote about. For them, trance wasn't a special state. It was their everyday way of being. Relational, rhythmic, in harmony with the world. And maybe, just maybe, that's where you're heading now. Into a state of flow. Into a rhythm that feels like home. A rhythm that connects you, not just to yourself, but to the world around you. Because life, it's systemic, isn't it? Everything's connected, everything's flowing. There's no finish line, just the next and the next and the next. And as you move, you might begin to notice something extraordinary. Your movements, they become one, a single unified flow. And in that flow, artistry emerges. You're no longer just moving, you're creating, performing, making every gesture as beautiful as it can be. And deep inside, you feel it, that completeness, that wisdom, that knowing. Because the body, it always knows. As you breathe into that knowing, as you allow yourself to be moved by it, you realize something profound. You already carry the answers you've been seeking. You've been here all along, just needing to remember the rhythm, to let it guide you, to trust it. And now, as you reflect on all this, you might begin to wonder, what just happened? But the answer, it isn't in the words, is it? It's in the experience, the shift, the movement, and perhaps in the silence that follows.